Hello? Can y'all hear me now? Does this sound okay? Okay, so I was not muted. I don't know what was going on. I don't know what's wrong with it. Okay. Sounds fine now. Okay, cool. Okay, give me like a few more minutes. I'm trying to multi-stream, so I am in the process of doing that. I think I'm up on Facebook and YouTube now. Muted, misconfiguration, update default. Yeah. Stories, how have you been? Do. Here we go. Author interview. I have to like redo all of my setup that I did for the multi-stream. Good, saw you live and here I am. Got you up. Yeah. I'm going to be doing an author interview. Actually, Stores, it's the book that we just finished, Jay Spencer or whatever. Okay, Arena is up, Facebook is up, YouTube is up, and guys, let me know how if it sounds like horrible. Cause like last time I tried to multi-stream, it was pretty bad. Paste, copy, paste, save input. Okay. I'm hearing. Okay, that's muted. That's muted. Let's mute that. Okay. Okay. Princess, welcome in. How are you? How's your Friday? Let's do some shout outs. Video shout out at Princess. Whoops. If I could spell.
I sunk. Sunk. S-U-N-K.
Okay, I don't know if Instagram is showing my whole screen. I only see part of me.
I know, right? Somebody clip that.
Hey, we already have a clip of me glucking already. Just go to my TikTok if you want to see that one.
We can just make a little,
Who else is here? Tough, but I'm so happy I got to. Yeah. How's the whole like the new baby and everything? Okay. This is Ziri.
So close. Hey, we did it.
Stories. I just finished another book of stories. We did it for book club actually. It's pretty good. Oh, you got the tag stories. I can't I can't give you a shout out. Okay, I totally missed probably like a whole bunch. Sangi's here. Welcome in. So glad you're here, Sangi. Okay. So, this is going to be a different interview. She has acid reflux. Ooh. So she won't let me put her down. Aw. I bet that has to be rough. I hate acid reflux. I keep on moving my mic. It's like bothering me. Okay. So we're doing a author interview. So it's going to be a little bit different. So how I do the interviews, I don't do a whole lot of talking. I'll chat like in the messages and stuff because I don't want to interrupt like all the questions and whatnot. It's not. Wait, what's not? Oh, it's not showing my whole screen. Yeah, okay. I don't know how to fix that. Well, that kind of stinks. Event log. Okay, I'm gonna have to play with that. Okay. Okay, cool. Alright, so, you know what I do. I know. Trust me, I know. Okay, so, we had just finished reading, 2078, The Fall by, Jay Spencer. So we have him here. We're going to be doing some interviews. If y'all have questions or if y'all want to say something, I'm sure he'll be fine with that and will love to chat. Did my first still count? What is that? What does still count? So, okay. So I'm going to switch screens. And like I said, I won't be doing a whole lot of talking. I'm going to let him do talking, but I'll do like the messages and stuff. So let's switch so that we could go ahead and start. Look, there he is. We had learned lots of things today. Because I got the first redeem. I thought Ziri got the first redeem. Didn't Ziri get it? It definitely says Ziri. Which actually, Ziri, let me give you your points. Ziri guy. Which actually, I need to restart all of these. I forgot to do that. Okay, hold on. Where do I go to do that? I don't remember. Secure purge. Okay. Ziri, where are you? Where are you on my list? There you are. The very last person. Okay. 1,000 points. Save. There we go. Okay. Oh, shoot. I need to pull up my phone. Seth, how are you? How have you been? I may or may not have been waiting for you to go live to map those. No worries. I've been terrible about keeping up with it, so I apologize. I have no idea who got it the past, just because of how crazy everything's been. Okay, here's my questions. Alright. Okay, so... hey! Part of Jay Spencer is showing up on Instagram, but not the whole screen. So at least we got him. So, okay. Well, my name just starts. That's true. You've had a. I have. I'm hoping After September, I'm hoping things will kind of calm down. Seth, let's do a video shout out for you. We're doing an author interview, Seth. Why didn't it do a shout out for you? Do you not have clips? You have clips. I mean, I would hope. Oh, I see what's happening. Well, there we go. Okay. Okay, I think we're ready. Can you still hear me okay and stuff?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, cool. Oh shoot, hold on. I need to do one thing, sorry. Pace. Oh, why won't it let me pace? Um. Yay, no video. Well, if you have the 18 plus tag, it does not work for some reason. It's like a recent thing. Like mine don't even play anymore because of the same reason. Copy. Dusk, how are you? How have you been? Okay, so here is Spencer's books. If y'all get interested, cause the book that we read is a continuous like series. So, and I actually think they're becoming like audiobooks too. I've been okay, Dusk. Things have been a little hectic on my side, um, just because with work and stuff like that. Okay, so here's the link on like all the other sites, just so that people can access them if they tune in there. I don't know how to see my comments on Arena. So, oh wait, is this? Here we go. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. I had to like post your sites, like your links and stuff, so I forgot to do that.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay. Did you want to like just share about you? I guess starting out, like about you and your books and stuff like that.
I don't know what all to share. I can share that, basically what's on my author page, uh, if anybody's interested in that, and talk a little bit about what I'm doing with the books.
Yeah, that'll work. Like we just read the first book, so I didn't know if you had like other books or like about the rest of the series. You know.
Sure, I can do that. Want me to go ahead?
Yeah, yeah. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Okay. So the series started out obviously with the fall. There are currently 3 books published, self-published. We're reworking all of that through stenotype, and we're gonna start republishing special editions. Hopefully, that's gonna come out the first one in October. Um, and I'm currently writing the 4th book. Um, so we'll see where it goes. I don't know. I almost stopped at 3, but was had several people encourage me to go on. Wanted to know more, so we're on book 4 now. And I have another fantasy series which is not published yet, but
Oh, that's
hopefully
cool.
coming sometime soon within the next year or two. And then I've written some children's books. I'm a wildlife forest manager, so I've written some wildlife children's books. Just oddball things. Uh, just trying to, hit some of the things that you don't normally see.
Okay, so somebody asked, what got you started with writing and why this story?
I think I always wanted to write. I've been an avid reader, like probably most of everybody on here, and I kind of thought the easiest thing to write would be the same kind of stuff I enjoy reading. And I don't know, you read the post-apocalypse books, and I think everybody kind of pictures what they would do if they were in that situation. And it just seemed like a great place to start writing and see if I could actually write a novel. Uh, so that's kind of how it started.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I feel like that's the same thing that a lot of authors say. Cause I don't remember if it was either Olin or Brian when we had them on here. One of them said the same thing pretty much, that they like write what they pretty much what they know, like what they read and stuff.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier, I think, and it's more fun. I'm not a planner, so I don't do all the outlines. And I know when you interviewed Mike, he had some great ideas, ways to set up an outline. I can't do that. I'm just not that coordinated and in depth. The voices in my head talk to me, and I write down what they tell me.
Uh, I don't know if this is kind of the same question, but it may be. But it's like, what inspired you to set 2078, the fall, in a, I'm going to say this wrong, dys- dystopian world?
It's just really, I've read so many books like that in that setting, and I just thought it'd be fun. I really wanted to write books that would be fun to read, something kind of fast paced, obviously fiction, something that you could relate to and kind of maybe picture yourself being a part of.
uh, this kind of flowed really well because I was about to ask this anyways. Did you have a favorite character to write?
That's a really tough one because I don't know. I like a lot of them. I think I started, definitely started with JC and probably JC and Belle in the first book. Um, that changes, I think, as the series moves on. Um, but I introduced some new characters, some of which I really like, and I've gotten some great feedback on some of the new characters. So hopefully y'all will keep going and check them out. Uh, I've heard the books actually get better. That's been my goal. So hopefully I'm getting to be a better writer as we go.
Yeah, I think that's a good sign. I always tell people anyways, like this is just me personally. I feel like after the first book, the series tend to get better. Cuz like a lot of with first books, you have to do a lot of like world building and everything. So,
Yeah, definitely. And for me, it's been a really steep learning curve. Um, this is so outside of what I do, day to day. And I was not very good at English, um, so it's it's been a lot to learn. It's a whole new industry, and I don't know. It's kind of hard when you first get started.
I don't know if this is going to be sounds terrible, but based on like what I read at least, the I think I had one of the early versions is what you mentioned. Um, I can say that your writing wasn't like it wasn't terrible. Like I've read some really rough stuff, so
Yeah, I have an uncle who writes, and it's I love my uncle, but it's yeah. Um, but no, it's kind of funny. Um, you had mentioned it briefly, the audiobook. In preparation for that, we've gone through and done another edit. So now I am up to the 16th revision of this book.
wow.
I feel like I should be able to quote it in my sleep by now, but I still can't. But yeah, it's been a lot of work. Luckily, I've enjoyed it. I even enjoy going back and listening to it now. So um, I think it's all going to be worth it. Hopefully, it's getting better. After 16 revisions, it should be getting better.
Sangi said, "Don't send your uncle to me."
No, I won't.
What central message or warning did you want readers to take from the fall?
I don't know that there really was one. I thought about that a little bit after you mentioned it, and it's if there is one, maybe it's kind of think ahead to what the long range consequences of your decisions, or I don't know, the importance of family.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
of a few other things, but I don't know.
I do feel like it was very like family like strong, So,
Yeah, yeah, I definitely wanted it to be centered around the family, and their tight knit group, and I tried to keep it open so you could put yourself in that. I hope.
I don't remember if it was mentioned cuz it took we went through it very like it took a while to get through it just cuz of my schedule, but um
Yeah.
was was the dad or anything mentioned? Do we know what happened to him or do we find that out later?
I think it was mentioned in the first book.
Okay.
He actually caught the virus, the engineered virus, and the mom had to kill him.
Oh. Yeah, like I said, it's been a while, like, because we read it
Right.
for a while. Yeah, yeah. But, okay, that's really interesting. That's kind of sad, actually.
Yeah. It was in one of those kind of depressed reflections JC had, I think.
Okay, what was the hardest part of writing 2078?
Getting done. It was actually kind of fun to write. Coming up with a story wasn't too bad, but I think getting started and then getting done and getting to all of the stuff that comes afterwards, um, it's a little overwhelming, and I know that's why Mike started Stenotype, and why he got into that is to help people,
Mm-hmm.
you know, move the story on from just being on the computer. Uh, so yeah, it's like I said, it's a whole new world to dive into. But I had fun doing it. Still having fun with it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like one of the advice that he gives for like new people is to like just write it. Like just do it, you know? Cuz once you start then
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, you can put it off forever. That's the easiest thing to do is to just put it off and not do it. There, I think we've all got more than we can possibly do. So,
Mhm.
who wants to sit down and waste all that time writing a book? It's an easy excuse. I used it for a long time. Uh,
Was
but yeah,
this
just get started.
was this your first?
It was. Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I started it in the middle of COVID.
Oh,
So,
interesting. That's funny. Okay, I can't remember, but didn't you know like another streamer person? Like that's how we got connected, wasn't it?
yes. We got connected through my cousin's daughter. Um, and I don't know if she's streaming anymore. She actually was going to stream the book, and I don't think she ever did.
No, I haven't seen
Instead,
her. Yeah, I haven't seen her on for a while, like
yeah,
at least a year. But yeah, I just couldn't remember, but I was pretty sure that's what it was.
yeah.
We kind of already touched on the next one, which was just sharing about the continuation of the series, but you already did. Uh, what drew you to science fiction? Well, I feel like that we kind of touched that one too, unless you got a different
We
answer.
did. We did a little bit. Some of it is my background, at least from a school standpoint, was science. So I was already kind of predisposed to that kind of stuff. And I don't know, I've always loved reading science fiction and fantasy both. It's, it's a great escape from all the everyday, you know? I'm not a big drama person because that's kind of life. So I'd rather go have fun when I'm reading or listening.
Do you listen to a lot of audiobooks?
Quite a bit, yeah. I drive a lot for work, so um, I listen to audiobooks all the time. In fact, I just finished another series. Um, so it's, yeah, quite a bit.
I'm a I'm a big audiobook person. I will say though, science fiction is not one of my top genres. Um, but there's a few that I actually really enjoyed. This one was good. I've started like Red Rising, which is like science fiction, and that one's
Yep.
going pretty good. Um, so yeah. You said
Yeah, I was just going. I like some of the science fiction series. I think lately I've been reading more fantasy. Um, but yeah, I like variety.
yeah, I tend to be fantasy too. Uh, you said your background was in science. Like, do you teach science or?
No, I'm actually a forest manager, so timber and fire and all those kinds of things.
That's
A
really
lot of the stuff
cool.
that's been in the news recently.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Um,
did that play a part in your books too? Were you able to use like some of that?
I've used, I haven't used much of that in the fall yet. The fantasy series that is not published,
Mm-hmm.
um, it kind of centers around that in a weird sort of way. Um, so yeah, not yes and no.
That's so cool.
Coming soon.
Yeah. Uh, okay. Another question: who's your favorite sci-fi authors? Any specific genre you've been into lately?
Uh, Definitely like Craig Allenson. Um, let's see, the Expeditionary Force series. I think he's on book 21 now.
Wow.
I blame him for me getting my first novel finally written. After his first book, Columbus Day, he went on with a little section in the back, prologue, I guess. kind of explaining how he wrote his first book and how he got it published, and encouraging other authors to do the same. And it seemed like, wow, maybe I can do that. So uh, definitely, Craig Allenson is one of those. I like some of Dennis Taylor's science fiction stuff, the Bobaverse series. Although I read another one, wasn't quite as up on, but I don't know. There's so many, in fantasy. Wow, there's so many in fantasy. It's hard to keep track,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and I listen to so many.
Okay, there was another question, I think. Hold on. Oh yeah. What series did you just finish? Or did you mention?
Uh, it was one of William D. Aaron's. Um, I can't remember which one it was. I just finished today. Um, that's pretty bad.
Sangi said great series. I'm not sure which one he was referring to, and then he said Bobbyverse.
Yeah, it's definitely sci-fi. Even more sciencey sci-fi, or space, I guess. Um, but yeah, that's it. The Bobiverse. We Are Bob is the first book.
Uh, what's your
Act,
process? Oh,
oh,
were you
I
gonna
was gonna
say?
say the X Files was the series I just finished.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. What's your process for writing science fiction? Do you plan every detail or discover as you go?
I've always been. I was from the time I got the first one done. One of my friends, who's an author in Asheville, said that I was a plotter, and it took me a little while to figure out what he meant. But he said they're planners, and I don't. Anyhow, the people that plan everything out and write all these elaborate, um, outlines and all this kind of stuff. To me, I can't do that. I'm not that organized, and it's just too much work. So um, I just start writing. I get an idea of where I want to go, and then start writing. And usually, it's as big of a surprise to me where it winds up as it is to everybody else. So I guess to me, that's kind of what makes it fun. Um, Writing is almost like reading. So I think I enjoy it more that way.
I'll be honest. Okay, so I'm not much of a writer. Obviously, I'm a reader, but I don't write. In high school, though, you know how like they always had you do those outlines. I hated those. I could never like. I could
Yeah,
not just do them. It just felt like an added step that was not needed.
it's horrible. Yeah, and that's one of the things that probably turned me off from trying to write was, all the teachers insisted, yeah, that's how you got to write. You have to use an outline. You have to get it all set up. No, I can't do that. And I've thrown a lot of words on the page over the past 5 years, so obviously it's not how you have to do it.
Yeah, that honestly, probably feel the same. That's probably what caused me not. So now, even I'll be honest though, even with reading, like in high school, it did turn me off for a minute. Not really like high school, but it's the forced like reading that they made you do. You have to read this book, and I every book that the teachers would have us read, I hate it. Like, I still remember
Yeah,
to this day, like the Hatchet. I was not a fan of the Hatchet, and like I still like despise that book because it was forced on me.
I can see that. Yeah, yeah. I'm not much into Old English or yeah, no, Romeo and Juliet's. Not me. I'm not a
No
Shakespeare
way.
person.
Yeah, same. Okay.
No, if Shakespeare had a spaceship and I don't know, carried a magic wand maybe, but
Isn't I feel like there is something out there like that probably. That's like similar.
probably.
Yeah. Okay.
I would almost be surprised if there's not.
Yeah, same. I mean, with all the retellings that are out there, I would be surprised if there isn't, you know? What advice would you give new writers tackling complex world building?
I think for me, I don't know. One of the things I'm terrible at is outlines and notes and all that kind of stuff. And I think if you're really going to write something that's got a really complex world or a series where you plan to build off of that, um, my best advice would be start taking notes early, even if it's not stuff you really think you're going to need to. I can't tell you how many times I have to go back and reread, looking for now. What did they do there? I don't remember. What had they learned, or where was that song, or whose name? God, I'm terrible with the names. Write all the names down, and write what they do and how they're related to everybody, because you'll have to go back and find it later, and it gets awful.
I can see I can see that. Like I feel I don't know. I'll be honest, like for me, world building, like just like reading it or listening to it, it's sometimes hard for me to even follow. Let alone trying to write it, you know?
Yeah, it's well, and the for me the first book, The Fall, I could keep most of it up in my head, and it wasn't too bad. Of course, it's not as complex as some of the fantasy novels, especially the lit RPG stuff,
Oh
which I just have to ignore most of that and wait for them to repeat it later.
yeah.
Um, but you know, just when you start getting into the next books in the series, if you haven't written it down, you're done. You're gonna be rereading everything you just wrote.
Okay, so this is actually Sengi is saying this, but this is something. Uh, okay, so there's another author friend of mine named Tabal Stories that stops by. He streams too, um, and I'm pretty. It's similar to like what he does, but Sengi said. I make D&D character sheets for my main characters and figure out a lot about who they are. Most is never used, but I understand them more. Do you do anything to get to know your characters?
I really don't. uh, I I kind of the one of the author I mentioned that's in Asheville. We get to talking about it, and it's for both of us. It's the voices in our head, and they kind of, especially the main characters, they all reside up here, and they talk to me, which sounds a little schizophrenic. And he told me no, it's actually very schizophrenic. But um, it, I don't know. They just kind of, I create them almost like I guess I had a great imagination as a kid. They're my imaginary friends, and that's how I get to know them. They're almost like real people to me, and so it makes it hard to kill them off. But they that's really how I do it. And the fantasy series is it's been the note thing is has been really hard for me learning to do that because that's I don't take notes ahead of time, and I don't even make a D&D character sheet, which I probably should, but I don't. I'm terrible with that stuff.
So, stories that I was mentioning, he rolls like a d20 dice to figure out, well, like,
That's
what the next, yeah, yeah, like the next step kind of deal. So that
that's
was,
great.
yeah, he was, so far, he's the only one that I know that does something like that. So,
I like it. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I sometimes think I have an idea of where a story's going, and then as I'm writing it, it changes. So I'll tell my wife, I thought the story was going this direction, and they told me I was wrong. So what do you do?
Sorry, I was just answering a question.
No problem.
Oh, wait. I think I misunderstood the question. Hold on. So I know that, like, this book was your first book. Um, we may have discussed this. Maybe it was your uncle that helped. I don't know. So, okay. What was the book series or book that launched you into wanting to be an author?
Uh, I think that would be, well, I when I was young, um, I used to read a lot of Louis L'Amour westerns, which is kind of totally different. And I used to want to write a book then. I really wanted to write a western, and tried, got started a few times, and just I don't know, didn't have enough experience to get very far with it. Didn't have enough determination, patience, whatever. But more recently, it was Craig Allenson and Columbus Day.
Is that any good? I feel like I've heard that book before.
I think it's really good, yeah. But it's definitely science fiction. It's all, it starts on Earth and then is totally space based after that, 95%.
This is not related at all, but it's just a thought that came to my mind when you said that it starts on Earth. So I go to a it's a spicy book club.
Hmm.
And our last book was literally about these girls that got like abducted and was taken into space, and they were dropped on this like planet, and it had all these like ice barbarians or whatever. And they had to like take in this like they had to have like this parasite like put in them so that they survive on this planet. It was like really weird. Not really related, but just
Sounds like it.
yeah, it just reminded me. Okay, so Singy said, "Tell me you've read Dungeon Crawler, Carl." He talks
Oh, yeah.
about Louis L'Amour quite a bit in a great series also written by an author that refuses to plan his stories out.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. My wife actually introduced me to Dungeon Crawler Carl, and yeah, we both loved that series. In fact, I think one of the games on my phone, my name is DC Carl.
I've actually never read it.
Oh, you need to. They're funny. A little violent though, but it's a dungeon, so.
Yeah, I mean, I also there's violence in like the fantasy books, so it's like
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
no doubt. Yep. Yeah, I think they're some of the most brutally violent books out there sometimes.
Yeah, they can be. The other ones I read is like horror and like psychological thrillers, so it's like it's all under there.
Yeah, now I'm writing one of those too, because I don't know, I like a challenge. I've started a horror. I haven't gotten very far with it yet because I have to be in the mood for that, but
Really?
that'll come one day. One day.
Is it like much different writing that than like the other series or I mean genres?
It is for me, um, just because it's I don't know the one I'm writing is gonna be I don't even know how to put it. It's a lot of paranormal, demon type stuff. So yeah, pretty different. So the for me, it makes it hard. I have to be in the right mindset for it. Um, And I guess it was kind of the same thing with writing the fantasy. The fantasy books I wrote are more young adult. Um, Say on the, I saw somebody else mention it earlier, but the Harry Potter level,
Oh yeah.
high school age. So that was totally different. Trying to change how I write, but I think they've come out really, really well. So we'll see. Hopefully, one day you'll all see.
Is
Hopefully.
okay, so is that the book that like you and Sangi are in talks about for like Stephtone type to sign on?
No, that's the we're doing a relaunch of the fall, and we're
Oh.
gonna we're gonna actually coordinate that. Um, it'll be the Stenotype edition, which we're gonna totally uh, redo the cover. We're gonna add a lot of new graphics to it. It's been edited again, so it's better. Um, and we're going to launch that at the same time that the audiobook comes out. So it's all going to be one big relaunch. And hopefully it will go much better. And we can find more of my readers. So,
Oh, that's really neat that you're like doing it. Like it's like a huge like launch party kind of deal.
right. That's the idea. I hope it works. We've even talked about maybe coming to you, or I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but we've talked about possibly getting a couple different covers and then letting readers vote on which one they like the best, and maybe even putting an audiobook as a prize. So I don't know. We haven't worked out the details yet, but something like that. We're gonna try to include as many people as we can and make it something interactive and hopefully fun.
I actually like that idea. Uh, if y'all do it, Sangi, if you let me know when you're wanting to do that, I could set up a poll on your social media, so then the followers can vote and stuff. So
Great.
uh, okay, so you mentioned already that JC was the first character you created, correct?
Yes.
How did they evolve through writing?
Hopefully he's getting smarter, a little more patient, growing up a little bit. I think JC was a little self-centered when he first entered the book, and I think he's kind of learning to start considering the rest of his family and the other people around him. Um, so he's hopefully all of that's happening. Um, have to read the other books and kind of watch it, see what happens. There's a lot going on in the next few books and a lot of changes. So I think he becomes a little different, a little more grown up. Not too much though.
Well, I actually was going to say that I feel like I don't know. I feel like at the beginning of the book versus like he seemed a little like he didn't know as much about like the world kind of deal. You know, like he was kind of like I felt like he did grow. You know what I'm saying? Like through their experiences and stuff.
I hope so. He was just coming out of high school and getting ready for the world, so got a good ways to go.
Uh Okay, this was my last question. I'm sure other people will probably have more. We'll see what happens after. um okay, so how you touched a little bit. How is the audiobook process going?
It's going really well now. We kind of had a rough start. I had Doug Doug Jones is the other author, my friend in Asheville, and he had an audiobook recorded with Melissa K. Benson, and she did a great job. And I kind of got that introduction, and we kind of had things figured out that Melissa was going to read the fall, and she had some personal things come up, and so she had to step away from it. But at the same time, she kind of felt like a male voice would be better, and she helped me find. She kind of shortlisted for me some potential narrators, and we had a false start with one. Thought he was going to do it, and that didn't work out. And then we found Ray Greenlee, and I wasn't real sure about Ray at first because the samples, some of his samples, I was having a hard time picturing Ray reading as JC. And after talking to him, he sent me a sample, and it's absolutely phenomenal. Ray brings the book to life, um, almost the way I pictured it in my head. When he was reading it, he just, I don't know, maybe not the voice, maybe, but the all of those important things, the nuances, the way he read the book, the way he's, you know, creating that whole picture, it's great. And we've gone through what they call the first 15. This is another new industry I have to learn. So it's the first 15-minute sample that they send you, and we've done that, and it was absolutely great. And I'm actually really excited to get to the final product, because it's all of that has just been the stuff he's done in his home studio. None of it's been finished through post processing or any of that kind of stuff, and he hires somebody to do that. So I think it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it goes over, and hopefully we can find everybody that's going to enjoy it, because he's doing a great job with it. I think y'all will love it.
I can understand on did you say her name was Melissa? The one that
Yeah,
was with.
Melissa.
Yeah, yeah. Just because like the book is in the voice of JC, so it makes sense to me, you know. So at least the new like narrator is working out though, because I've heard some people having trouble like finding narrators.
It's tough, but it helps if you pay them. It's really really tough if you want to um, go into it without paying anything, and it's not cheap. So I'm hoping we sell enough to break even, um, but it's so worth it. He's a SAG-AFTRA narrator, so and yeah, but he's worth. I think he's worth it. I think y'all are gonna love it. I did.
Is the process difficult? Like just the process of doing it?
It's it it's not too bad. We're doing everything through Amazon, which I think most people do now. Um, you can go through Spotify, and that works okay, uh, but then you have to do all of your contracts and everything are separate. Um, Amazon's company called ACX actually just it makes all of that so much easier, and they've got such a huge market that that's kind of we talked about it a little bit. And I considered Spotify with Melissa, but after talking with her, decided to go with ACX. So that made it easy when Ray and I talked, especially since that's what he does. I think he only uses Amazon, so it's it's like most things Amazon does. They try to make it simple, so not too bad once you get into it.
I had a I had a thought. So just give me like 1 minute. Oh, I
Sure.
remember now. Um, I kind of wonder, like, I don't know. And this is kind of like up to Sangi, but I'm wondering if your narrator would be able to work with Sangi, like with his other books, because that like opens up to like a whole different market of people.
It does, and I honestly, I think, I, I think so many people listen to books now that I think there are a whole lot more people listening to audiobooks than there are reading, and that's kind of been my goal all along is to move my books in that direction. Um, the problem is if you rely on people like Amazon to come to you, it's really tough. I mean, it's like getting an agent or a publisher to publish your book. A lot of them, they get so much to wade through, and they get real picky. So it's hard to get your foot in the door. Um, if you're willing to pay, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah, that's true. I've heard like there's who was it? I don't even remember. But there's a voice actor that streams, and I was like just talking to her. I think she came to my stream or whatever. She doesn't voice act for like audiobooks or anything like that, but she said that she wants to. The which I didn't even know this was a thing, but apparently like audiobook narrators are responsible for their own like editing, like the audio editing, where what she does, she's not responsible because they have people.
They can be, or they can contract it out. So I think that's what Ray does. Is he gets it in really good shape, does most of that himself, and then he contracts it out to another company, and they do all the finish work. They clean it up, um, and help, I guess, with the rest of that. But yeah, most of them do all their editing and everything themselves. So it's yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I thought about doing it before, so like I signed up for this like website that it's like all volunteers kind of deal, and they read like the classics or whatever. Um, I signed up for it. I did it once, and I was like, "This is not for me," and haven't been back since.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, cause like they wanted like certain like I don't know like settings on when you record, and I'm like I don't know any of this, what I'm doing or anything.
Yeah, I think you might just about have to have your own sound studio in your house, and it's I don't know for sure, but it seems pretty complicated, um, pretty involved. It's definitely not like sitting here at the computer.
Okay, I'm just gonna speak for 1 second.
Sure.
Uh, Princess, I think we just talked about that. So some narrators they do the editing themselves. Um, they record themselves, do the editing and everything. But what he was saying is that his narrator does some of the editing, but then they send it to another company for to like clean it up and stuff. Uh, there's a program frog called shoot, what is it called? Audiosity or something like that. That's what you use to record, and it doesn't have like a screen or anything like that. It's just recording your voice. I wonder if Stories is still here because he uses it. He's familiar with it. Okay, sorry. People were like asking questions about the audio book thing programs basically. uh Okay, I don't know. Do y'all have any other questions um for Jay Spencer? I've been calling you Jay Spencer because that's what it's on the book. Is that like what you want me to like?
That's fine.
Okay. Frog, go ahead and ask them, and I'll let you know. Okay, I think more questions are coming.
Okay.
Uh, let's do. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let's do one at a time, just so that he can answer them and they don't get lost. Oh, okay. So this is a good question. Do you prefer writing characters you relate to or ones you feel are totally different from you?
I was just reading that question. I got the chat pulled up.
Oh, I
That's a
didn't.
tough
I didn't
question.
realize you had it. Okay.
um, well, I can't. I have a hard time reading and talking at the same time. It's kind of like walking and talking. But um, I don't know. It's easy to write the ones that are kind of similar. But it is kind of fun writing somebody that's just totally different. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I prefer one over the other, but it is kind of fun to step out of your normal character and write somebody evil or I don't know
I
something
mean,
different.
I think that's a thing, though, isn't it? Like people love villains
Probably.
and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
they probably do love writing about it.
yeah. Hopefully, there are not as many villains as there are people writing about them.
Okay, Frog, you could do your next question. Have you ever written a plot line where you surprised yourself with how it turned out? Were you proud or shocked or both?
Um, I don't know about a plot line. I guess it depends on what you mean by the plot line. I've definitely had chapters that did not turn out the way I thought they would. Just where I in my planning or my thoughts of we're going to take the book in this direction
Mm-hmm.
and this is probably what would happen, and then as I started writing it, it just totally took a different turn because the voices in my head said, no, I wouldn't do that. That's stupid, you know me, I'm not going to do that. And it always turned out better. uh, they know better than I do, so I just write down what they tell me, and it comes out pretty good most of the time.
I feel like that's a thing though. Um,
It
like
is.
yeah, um, cause okay, so if you don't count Michael, if you just like count like you, Brian and Olin, I think all of y'all pretty much said the same thing. Like y'all, like things just go a different plan, kind of. Like y'all
Yeah.
just follow. Yeah, yeah. Other than your own, what is your favorite book?
Oh, wow. um I don't know, there's so many to choose from, and there's a series that I've really enjoyed, and I can't think of the name of it, so I'm trying to look it up. That might take me a minute. Might take me a lot of minutes. I
That's
don't know if you
fine.
have this much time.
Oh, I I tell people I have ADHD. It's another reason why it takes me a while to get through a book. So I have gone on here hours trying to read one chapter. So so you're okay.
So, He Who Fights with Monsters by Shirtalone, aka Travis Deverell. Um, I don't know if that's my favorite all time book, but I've really enjoyed that series. It's been great. If you like a dark hero, that's a really good one. That whole series, and I think he's up to like 10 or 11 books now. Yeah, it's a fun series, but pretty dark.
What is it about?
It's more fantasy. He starts. It's like the hero, but anti-hero, and it's definitely fantasy. And I can't think straight enough to give you a good synopsis. I could go through and read the summary if I can find it again.
No, you're fine. So everybody's like agreeing with you. There has been many times that they love the book or something and they can't remember the title or whatever.
I don't have my glasses, so I can't read.
I don't know what Sengi, I don't know those
Oh, yeah,
abbreviations.
He starts as an office supply clerk, and I think he gets sucked into another world. More or less, that kind of thing. Adventure. It's a good one.
Sengi's, I don't know what these abbreviations are, but it's HWFWM is great. I'm working on Defiance of the Fall now, and then plan to get back to that series.
He Who Fights with Monsters.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yep.
Frog, did you have any other questions?
Right, I think.
I'm just seeing, okay, hold on. Do you have the sound of a character's voice in mind when you go to make an audiobook? I'm going to say yes to that because you mentioned about how it's not how the one narrator wasn't exactly what you thought it would sound like. And then she's sorry. Then she said, "If so, how hard is it to move away from the idea in your head to make way for how the person narrating has interpreted them?" That's a good question.
Yeah, I think you kind of do. At least I did kind of have an idea of what I thought they might sound like, but um, part of this whole process of becoming an author uh, is learning to be more flexible um, and taking criticism and all that kind of stuff. That's one thing with the first book you write. There, when you get it edited and you get your first few readers, they're going to hurt your feelings. um, you have to get over that and realize they're trying to help you out. And I think that helped coming into the audiobook side of it. I really, by that time that we started that process, I just wanted somebody who was going to kind of bring it alive and make it become what I thought it could. So when I found Ray, and he was really just, he was hitting all of that. I was too excited to care if the voice was exactly how I thought it might be in my head. Um, so I don't know. Obviously, I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be great.
Is there a date for that yet?
It's October. Um, I may have a date, and I don't remember. Um, but well, there's not a set date because it has to, after he gets done and we get all the publishing done and I accept it. It has to go through Amazon, and they can take anywhere from like 2 to 4 weeks um, before they approve it. So
Wow.
definitely in the fall sometime.
Oh, I love how it's in the fall and that the book is called The Fall.
So I like the irony. But yeah, I probably late October, maybe the 31st. That would be a great one to launch on. But October, November, right before Christmas.
Sangi said, I'm working on our upcoming novel writing month, which is based around outlining in a chapter a day to the outline. All this outline hate, though, to be honest, my outlines are super basic to make sure the story peaks and hits the right beats, but the final results is far from what was outlined. So even us planners get surprised by our characters if we're listening to them.
That's great. It's no outline hate from me. I just can't do it. Yeah, I think it's great. I'm not coordinated or talented or smart enough to do it. Something patient, maybe. Probably a lot to do with patience.
Frog, did you have any more questions? Seeing if anybody has any more questions. Is there anywhere that you want people to like follow you, or like how can people like support you, all that good stuff?
Um, Amazon is a great place to follow to support any author because I know a lot of the publishers and those kind of things. The people who have access to that stuff, which is most publishers, um, that's what they look at is the numbers in Amazon. They look at followers and purchases and all that kind of stuff, which is why all of that's important. I mean, obviously, reviews, ratings, and stuff like that are always great, and we all love that. So it helps bring other people in and gets them to notice, um, so they'll give it a chance. But I do have a Facebook page that I update occasionally, but I think if you're wanting to support an author, probably following Amazon, which I know it's not really social media, but they at least let you know, when a new book comes out and that kind of thing. So you're more than welcome to hit me up on Facebook. I'm not good at social media, and I'm really bad at the new friend requests. So following is probably easier. I'll take anybody on as a friend, but there's so much bot traffic,
Mm-hmm.
which I know you've heard me complain about before. um, that
I have. I
unless
remember.
you unless you look like an actual real person or maybe mention something from the book, I'm probably going to ignore it. And half the time, I don't even read them anymore, just because it's so much. I mean, the bots have made it awful. It's not that I don't want to accept new friends. It's just that it's such a hassle.
Yeah, so what I have to do, well, it's not so much on the other ones. Twitter is kind of bad. Instagram, not so much. The other ones are usually fine. But on Facebook, I literally have to, like, go to their profile and see what they've posted and determine from there. Like, I literally have to, like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I know the term, like gatekeeping, my, like.
Yeah, and I do have a Threads and a Twitch account, and as I'm thinking about that, I realize I haven't posted anything in those in probably a month or two. So I'm terrible at social media.
Yeah,
I took a class on it for authors, and I'm still awful.
yeah, Threads. I've been kind of slacking, since my schedule kind of got crazy, um, but yeah, I do plan on leaving a review though, since we finished the book. So, just to let you know.
Thank you.
Uh, Okay, Frog said, I love that you guys consider it listening to your characters. It's really endearing. I am curious though, is there a world in your mind that remains in there that you can't bring out for some reason?
Probably. um, hmm. yeah, I don't know. It depends on what kind of day I had at work. Some of those are better left up here. That might be a good day for the horror book, though.
Oh yeah. Sengi asked, are any characters a self insert of yourself? Maybe in that unpublished series that you just see as you being there.
Honestly, there are a lot of them. I don't think any of them are completely me. Um, Certainly, there's a lot of me in JC, but there's a lot that's not. So I think if you want to get to know an author, read their books. I think we all, especially the authors that really put a lot of themselves. I think most authors put a lot of themselves into their books, especially if it's a really good book. You know, you kind of almost have to really make it something that pulls you in, and bring the characters to life. I feel like you have to. There may be others who disagree, but there's a lot of me in there. One of my coworkers, one of the guys that I started working with a couple years ago, he laughs at me every time he reads one of the 2078 books because he can see me all through it.
Which book is that? Oh, push to talk, I forgot. Which book is that? About your coworker?
The Fall.
Oh yeah,
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 The
yeah.
Fall. Yeah, and the following it, the books after that too.
I actually okay, so obviously like we kind of like just got connected kind of deal. Not really, but you know what I mean. When I was reading
Right.
your book, that's kind of why I asked like if some of your forestry stuff was like in the book itself kind of deal because I felt like some of it was kind of related a little bit kind of deal, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think at the time
Yeah, I
though,
guess
sorry, go ahead.
I guess some of it is when I think about their trip through the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. That there's definitely a lot of my work that that kind of came into that just from experience. I guess I spent a lot of time in the woods.
Yeah, so I think when we were like in the middle of the book and they were traveling, I think it was like through the Carolinas and stuff. I think at that time was when you were posting about the forest fires, and it just for some reason it just seemed very, like okay, he must know like a little bit there.
The fires we had this spring were actually on one of the areas that I manage. So I was there.
Okay, I have a couple other questions. Uh, do you have any tips that would help a new author?
Um, when I first started writing, and one of the things I still try to do, although I haven't been doing a very good job of it recently, is just try to find a way to write on a regular basis. If you can do it every day, that's great. But at the same time, don't feel like you need to write, a page or a chapter or anything like that. Just, it's almost, I think it's more important to keep the story in your mind and keep moving forward, even if all you write is one sentence that day. I think it helps keep the momentum, um, So that would be my advice: is go ahead and start first of all, and don't worry about it. You know, it may not be perfect when you start, and you're gonna have to edit it. It's gonna be terrible when you go back and read it. Don't worry about that either. Just start getting your ideas down and kind of, keep up with it. Keep going, even if I heard Mike mention this once during the interview. Um, yeah, if you get to a spot where you just don't know where to go next, think think about other parts of the book and where you think you want to go, and write something totally unrelated. Um, it's a great idea, and I've done it myself, and it really does help. Sometimes you may even write something that you don't use later, but it just kind of gets you away from that for a few minutes, and then you can come back to it. But keeping that momentum, I think, is huge, um, as far as getting to the end. You know, and like I said, don't ever. I think that's one reason they tell you if you want to be an author, get a job. It's the whole idea is to take the pressure off of your writing, make it something you enjoy. So, don't feel like you have to write a chapter this week. If you write a paragraph, that's great. If you write a sentence, that's great. Just keep moving forward.
Actually, that kind of brings up another question. Um, so I think I asked this with Olin and Brian, but as you like, because you're working like full time kind of deal and stuff, how do you find time to write?
Don't. Um, one, I just some of it is just making time. As awful as that sounds, I think when I really get into writing a lot, then I'm usually watching less TV or playing fewer games. So yeah, it may cut into my gaming time or my movie watching time or something like that. But um, I've discovered I have more time than I think I do, uh, and I usually fill that with writing. Um, and after a few weeks, I'll actually reintroduce myself to my wife, and she'll get to know me again.
Do you when you're writing, do you write on pen and paper, computer?
Computer.
Okay, okay, cool. I was just wondering because I learned in that interview, because I think stories was in there. I did not realize how much of a difference a pen makes to like to writers kind of deal. Like I didn't know it was such a huge um it's a huge thing apparently, like having a special pen that I had no idea.
I don't. I have this desktop that I'm sitting at. I actually write a lot on my phone. Um, Not because it's a good device, but it's you know sometimes I'll just be sitting in there, ready to go to bed or something, and I start thinking about it, and I've got to write something down, and I've written chapters just on my phone, um, because I couldn't sleep or whatever. Um, and I bought a laptop just for writing it, cheap Acer or whatever, and so that I can write when I travel. Uh,
Oh,
so
that's cool.
I'm not picky. I don't have anything special that I write on.
Yeah.
I've thought about it. Thought about getting one of the electronic tablets. I thought that'd be fun, but yeah, I don't have one.
Was there ever something in a book you read that you knew you'd never do in your own stories? Like, you read it and you were mad at them for writing it that way and vowed to avoid it.
Yes. There's one author, which I won't tell you which books it is, but he uh, he wrote he wrote a book, and it was a great book. I loved the book, and so I went on and read the next book in the series, and I got done with it. And I was like, wow, that was the same book. He just changed the characters a little bit and changed a little bit of how the story progressed, but it was exactly the same. I mean, exactly the same. And I started reading the third book, and I was like, holy cow, this is the same book again. Um, and, it just killed me. It was, to me, it seems so lazy. Um, and I don't know. For me, I really want you to get something new in each book, and I never want the book to be the same. I don't want you to go to the next book in the series and feel like, man, didn't we just do this? I hate that. So I want each book to be something new, a new adventure, something that you enjoy, and hopefully better than the last one. So that's one of the things it's a pet peeve of mine, and I really try hard not to do that. There are probably other things too, because yeah, unfortunately, you become an author, then you start picking at other people's books. You just can't help it.
One person said it's not on Twitch or anything, but on one of the other ones. Uh, they said that they always have their phone and start writing an email, and then they could edit it or send it.
Yeah, and I've always just used Notepad, um, because I can send and edit and all of that. And sometimes I'll do editing on my phone and just use something like the 365, because then I can bring in Word documents, and edit that way.
Sengi said, good call out. I've had authors too worry about the right software or format. It doesn't matter. Open a Google Doc and get to work.
Yep, absolutely. Whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah, I don't. I think too many. We come out of school and there's so many rules, and I don't think there's a wrong way to do it. Just go out and do it, enjoy it, have fun, and if you're not, it's probably not worth doing. So find a way to enjoy it.
You probably see the chat, but Frog was like, oh man, with the cost of everything these days, I'll be so mad if I read the same book 3 times and paid for it.
Yeah, I returned to the third one.
Sangi said, oh, what's your trigger phrases in books? Oh yeah, that's a good question. I mean, like something that repeats or takes you out of the story. Do you catch yourself doing it? Hold on. I've had so many books that the author uses the same phrases too often and it grates me.
So easy to do. Holy cow. That is actually one of the things that bugs me, and I try not to do is, and it's so easy. You get into using the same word over and over and over again, and Mike has caught me on this. Uh, but even I listened to a book the other day, and it was the same word like 3 times in the same sentence, and that just drives me nuts. And I try really hard not to do that kind of thing. Even if I'm saying the same thing, I try to mix it up and rephrase it, whatever. So yeah.
I feel like even.
I def-
Go ahead, sorry.
no, I definitely have those triggers.
I feel like this is something that a lot of like popular like authors struggle with though too. So like for example, like take the Agatar series. Really popular, but it's like a common joke that like Sarah uses the whole like he growls like throughout her books like repeatedly.
Right.
And then I was reading Frida McFadden's like the housemaid series, and I got to like book, I don't know, I think there's like 3.5 books technically, and I got to like the second and third one, and she repeats like the story that we already read, yeah, like a few times. It's like, okay, I know that she was this maid, like we know this, we know her history, we don't need a repeat. But so I feel like it's something that's like very common that a lot of authors like struggle with, and I don't even think they realize it.
No, I don't think they do. And that's definitely where the editing comes in, and having a really good editor. And sometimes I've done a lot of editing in my work for, not for novels, but for other stuff, and it's really easy to miss stuff. You know, you go through once and edit, and you catch all the big things, and then you go through and edit again, and you catch the next layer, and you just don't know how many layers there are. Uh, so, and that's where I think the other thing, if somebody's a new author, when you get done, go back and listen to it, even if it's just using, Microsoft Word, read aloud, or um, I've been using Eevee on my phone, which it doesn't have it doesn't sound good, but it helps you count, find a lot of those mistakes. Um, Something about listening to it, you'll catch different mistakes, especially with Word, where they use a little bit of AI to try to get the pauses and everything right. You'll find a lot of stuff that you missed reading it.
When I was in high school, because I'm not great at writing, never really have been, I had a teacher tell me that, like, when I write my stuff, to read it out loud and see if it makes sense when I'm reading it out loud. Because I guess there's like a difference when you hear what you wrote, kind of deal. Like, then you catch those like mistakes, like you were saying.
Yeah, I'm terrible at that, so I have to have Word read it to me.
Uh, Hold on, I'm a little behind on chat.
That's okay.
Uh, okay, hold on. Ziri, you never know though. I'm just saying that high school was like a long time ago for us. So I'm saying that I'm just saying you may be surprised. Uh, Sarah J. Moss just writing books about packs of dogs at this point. They're not packs of dogs, Frog. They're fairies. There is a difference. um, this is just like a comment that Singy made. Um, it's hard to avoid. The author may have written it over the course of a year or more, and if they didn't go back and read it as a reader at reader speed, they don't realize how it sounds to the audience.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the other thing is, it's as an author, you know what you meant to say. Um, and sometimes even if you listen to it, you don't hear it as a reader, and that can be. I think that's why a lot of people will tell you to step away from it for 3 months and then come back to it and go through it again.
Let's see. Paxidol's fairies just somatics. It's not the same thing at all. Honestly, I may like werewolves, so totally different. All right, Frog, do you have any other question? Uh Okay, I'm seeing if anybody else. I don't know. Did you have like a time limit that you needed to go or anything?
Um, I don't know.
Ask away, Frog.
No hard and fast time limit.
Okay. I just want to make sure because I know, like, when I was with Sangy, I think we ended up staying like till midnight. Like, it was
Yeah,
really long.
I don't think I
So,
can do that.
so I want to be like respectful of your time.
Thank you.
What's your go-to snack when writing?
Plain old regular popcorn.
Uh, I do like popcorn too. I've been eating quite a bit of popcorn lately, to be honest. I get like, do you get the seasoned like powder that you like put on there?
No, I actually. So this is a little weird, but um, our the fire department I'm on, we sell kettle corn, and
Oh, that's
one of the
cool.
guys that orders the big bags of these, super big popcorner, kettle corn, whatever. He'll we'll get one together and split it, and so it's like a 50-pound bag. So I buy
Oh,
popcorn
wow.
25 pounds at a time.
Oh, wow.
But it's really good, and it pops like really big kernels, and it's cool. Like I said, it's a little weird. Most things I do are somewhere off a little.
Frog, do you have any other questions? Sangi, do you have questions? You're usually pretty good at coming up with questions too. Do you like cheese popcorn, caramel, or chocolate? Or is that too. Wait. Cheese popcorn or caramel and chocolate? I don't think I've ever had chocolate popcorn.
I it's hard not to like something with chocolate. Um, I like, cheese popcorn's okay sometimes, but I'd probably go with caramel and chocolate out of those two, definitely.
Okay, I'm usually like a big, like chocolate person, but not gonna lie, cheese popcorn is my favorite. I don't know why, because I'm not a big cheese person to start with.
That's funny.
uh, Sangi said, do you listen to music while writing? Was there a playlist or artist you associate to the fall? For me, The Forgotten God was written almost exclusively to Meatloaf songs.
Um, there's not a particular artist. A lot of times I do listen. Not every time, but a lot of times I'll listen while I'm writing, and a lot of times it's just whatever YouTube playlist happens to pop up. Uh, but obviously, if you read in the further you get into it, I mentioned a couple songs um, in the fall, and then I kind of continued that throughout the series. And usually the songs that are in the book are the ones I was listening to at the time. Not always, but a lot of times that's where I came up with them.
Okay, Sangi's not wrong on this. Okay, so it's funny because Sangi said, I asked because Leggy will want to know when we do a promotion. We had to go back through Brian's playlist for the last book. And he's not wrong. Because, like, if we're going to post a video, well, with Brian's case, when I did the interview with him, he specifically said that, like, he had, like, a playlist that he based his books on. So, like, there were certain characters that, like, match certain songs. So, like, with him, yeah. So with that one, I was like, oh, that would be really cool to get one of those songs for his promotional, video. But yeah, I probably would when we post about your book and stuff.
I was actually working on that today, trying to get the playlist. I started in the second two books, books 2 and 3. I put the playlist in the back of the book, in the chapter where the song was, and I was trying to get that together for the fall. And there are actually not as many songs listed in there as I thought there were. So it's a shorter playlist, except for Jimmy Buffett. There's a lot of Jimmy Buffett in it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, since we're on it though, when you have time, if there's a song that you want for your promotional post, just go ahead and send it to me.
One of them in the book is Bodies by Drowning Pool. That might actually be appropriate.
Hold on, I'm about to write that down. Did you say Bodies by Drowning Pool?
Drowning Pool. Cool. I'll send you the playlist.
That'll work. Siri said that he loves that song.
It's a great song.
I don't think I know that song.
It's terrible.
Frog, haven't you learned that there's a lot that I don't know? Siri, it's a show that like played like around 2010, Teen Wolf. I used to love that show. I was like obsessed with it. I'm going to listen to Drowning Pool while I work on cover ideas. Nice price. We gotta fix this. So Frog asked, hold on, I can't see the message. Do you add a little glossary on how to pronounce weirdly spelled things, or are you like other authors and just leave us to guess?
I guess I leave you to guess because I've never thought about it. I should have, because nobody can pronounce the road I live on. That's true. I don't have a I don't have a lot of Norse gods, so at least there's that.
You should have. Okay, so Sengi's book was one of the first ones. Like his and Brian's were one of the first ones I've read on here. And like it was just funny because I am not very familiar with the Norse gods. So me trying to like pronounce these like names, like I think Sengi was there. He had to like literally like spell it out like for me to pronounce like correctly. I will say for fantasy books though, it seems like a lot of authors do like them.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Okay. Siri, you should watch it. It's really good. I thought it was. Like I said, I was obsessed.
Not sure I'm creative enough to come up with names like that.
Do you just use like normal names for your fantasy book?
Yeah. Well, actually, I said yes, but no. The main characters are all normal names, but they're when they move off world, it's all Hopi Indian names.
I just find that like really funny because most fantasy books they have like all these crazy names, you know, and like I just got done with like Kingdom of Ash and like half the names nobody could pronounce correctly, and I'm just thinking like you're gonna roll up with your fantasy book and be like, here's Mike. You know, like
somebody's got to.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I know Segni's like replying to Frog here, but he was like, "You're going to be stressed by the forgotten god." I didn't have a pronunciation, whatever guide, and it's a lot of Norse words. I did explain some of the more obscure stuff in the back, and I do remember that because Sengi had to provide, that was the other thing he did. He provided me with like a guide on how to say the names. And there's times that I stopped midstream, was like, how do I say this? I had to like look at that.
That's actually that's one of those things with the audiobooks that you have to do. If you have a lot of names like that, you have to let them know how to pronounce all of that stuff.
It's like the joke that like audiobook readers versus like just regular readers. It's like, at least we know how to pronounce the names.
Yeah.
Do you use a name generator?
This one.
Did you say this one?
Yeah. Just the one in my head. No, I don't use a
I was like,
thing.
I literally was thinking, like, is there a site called this one? Like,
I don't think so.
Frog said Kevin the Wizard.
I like it.
Give me 1 second. A little behind again. You know what? I'm just gonna say this. Ziri, I wasn't a dragon fan until really till the fourth wing. But did you ever watch the movie Dragonheart? Because I was like obsessed with that movie. I can appreciate names. I name everything Craig. You do. That is true. You do. I should add this book to my list. Which book, Frog? There's a series based on D&D, and the one guy is terrible at names. His name is Tim, and his characters are all named things like Timiscore. Really? That's hilarious. I'm glad she read this because I missed it. You really do. I'll ask books for the guide if I'm I might still have the guide somewhere. Miyazaki has talked across many different platforms. Like, how would you read Kale? Now it's Kel. I think at first I said Cole. Supposedly, Sarah J. Maas, though, regrets naming her character Kel because she did not know people would have so much trouble. What series is it? Made me mad. Books knows Dragon. I do! I love that movie. I think I watched the whole series. I think I like the second one more, though. So what? Am I hearing a watch party? I'm down. Hey, we could totally do that. Well, we'll have to see with my schedule. 20... Oh, yeah. Okay, so 2078 is his first book. That's the one that we just read on stream, Frog. The link is up there if you want to check out. I think that's his author's page, so there's other... his other books are there. I've seen that, but it's been ages. We should watch it again. That would be fun. Okay. I think we're caught up. Okay, Frog... Anybody got any other questions that I can ask? We got on the subject of Dragonheart.
I've been trying to listen to some of it. I have to cut it in and on and off though because the delay gets a little much.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm down for Dragonheart. I love that movie. I haven't watched it in forever. Frog, did you have any more questions? Sangi? Yes. That's the one he's currently making a audiobook for. It should be releasing sometime in the fall. Isn't that great? It's called The Fall. It's releasing in the fall. Let's see. We're falling, the fall, and fall. Okay, I don't know if there's any more questions. I don't know if there's anything that you're wanting to say, share, whatever you want.
I don't know.
You know, I just say that is another good idea though. Sangi, is that making like playlists that goes with each of our books that we offer, because apparently that's like a thing. Like readers listen to like playlists that puts them more into the book or whatever while they're reading. So that might be an idea, and just post that playlist. Um, you know. Uh, yeah, thanks for putting that in there. Oh, wait. Frog says she has another. She thought she was tapped out. Yeah, Ziri, it's like a thing. Like, I forgot what they're called. Like, reading. I don't even remember. But, um, yeah, like, so certain authors, like, they'll, like we talked about, they'll write their books based on playlists, and then they'll share that so that the readers can, like, basically be immersed with the same playlist that they were written in. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I think it's a good idea. If we, if you, one of us could get the authors and just find out what songs, to go with their books or whatever. Okay, so I don't, are you, wait, hold on a second. Frog, do you have Kindle Unlimited? Oh, you do? Okay. You think. So Kindle Unlimited is like a subscription. And they do, like Sangi said, they do get something, but I don't know. I don't know. Do you mind if I ask? It's up to you though. Um, so Frog, um, says she has Kindle Unlimited, um, but it says it's $0 if she do the Kindle Unlimited. She's like, do you still get something if I do it that way? So you might be able
Yes.
to explain Kindle Unlimited better than I can.
Sure. So, the way Kindle Unlimited works is the author gets paid basically by the page that you read. So, if you read a few pages of the book and that's it, then they'll get whatever the equivalent payment is for that. And it is a little bit less than if you buy the book. Um, I think the authors probably make the most money off ebooks that you buy. Printed books really aren't that profitable because through Amazon, basically the authors have to eat all of the cost. So all of the printing and shipping and all of that comes out of the author's cut. So even though Amazon looks like they're taking a small cut, by the time it actually goes out, um, for a $10 book, an author they'll make a little over $1 out of a $10 book. Um, so I don't know. KDP is actually, it works out pretty well for the author if they keep it enrolled. Uh, so yeah, if you have KDP, I think that's a great way to do it, and it doesn't bother me at all as an author. I may not make as much, but that's okay. I haven't made money yet anyhow.
So
I'm just
wait,
trying to break even at this point.
wait, is it better to buy the ebooks?
It, I think it. I haven't ever really sat down and compared it, but I'm just guessing. I think it's probably the author probably gets more back depending on what their price is. Um, it's all percentages, so it's going to vary a lot based on what kind of price tag they have on it.
I had no idea about any of this. So Sankey also replied, ebooks are the highest margin. Books are the biggest payment by unit, depending on how it's priced. Yeah, I always just thought like the physical copies, like authors made the most from that, but yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, and in fact, Amazon just increased their minimum price for print books to $10. So that's the lowest you can price it without losing even more money. So, so now they're cutting the authors even harder if they price anything below $10. So if you've watched the books on Amazon, most of the print prices have probably gone up if anybody had one below $10.
Wow. I kind of like am like kind of like proud of myself. Not really, but like because I had no idea of that. But I have that indie book club like in my Discord, and one of the requirements that I told authors is that their books have to be in Kindle Unlimited, because a lot of my people have that, and if they didn't have that, they wouldn't participate, basically, you know. But for me, I don't have Kindle Unlimited because when I did have it, I never used it. I use a lot on my library and stuff like that, so I never used it. So I got rid of it, and now when I do the indie book club, I just buy the ebook right out. So I'm like, well, I'm glad I've been doing that.
Perfect.
Okay, so she's asking, Frog, I think that sounds right, but I'll make sure. She's asking, she said that she could buy the ebook for $2.99 and the physical for $9.99. Does that sound right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, a lot of people use Kindle Unlimited. I
Yep, and
just
I
don't.
probably make more money off the $2.99.
Yeah, yeah. Um, she's like, that's so cheap. um, yeah, I just know a lot of people.
Well, when you're a new author,
Now, okay, so I'm wondering, with you being on Kindle Unlimited, and I don't know if you would know the difference, but you know, like when that whole like Amazon boycott was happening, did that like affect your like Kindle Unlimited sales or anything like that?
I don't know. Um, I yeah, I don't have big sales, unfortunately. I just haven't found my audience yet. That's one of the things I'm still trying to do, uh, and that's probably one of the hardest things to do. There's so much on Amazon now, and a lot of it's AI junk, and a lot of it is because it's so easy. Everybody self-publishes now, so it's hard to wade through everything, so it makes it really hard to find your audience. That's probably one of the biggest challenges for authors now. Even if you get a great book, it's hard to find your people. So that's where I am right now. Is trying to find my people.
Do you know anything about special edition?
Coming soon. Um, my special edition isn't done yet. We're in the process.
Like, how is it going to be like a special edition? Like, is it going to have art or like what makes it a special edition? I guess.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have we're definitely gonna have more artwork. There's not right now. There's no artwork in the book at all. Um, we're going to change the cover, add artwork probably to the at least to the chapters. We've discussed things like maybe a map, you know, kind of showing the progress of the journey. I'm sure we may add the playlist in now, um, but that those kinds of things are what we're looking at for the special edition. I don't know if we're going to add anything else. If y'all have any ideas or things you'd like to see, by all means, let us know.
No,
It's-
that's really
the special
cool.
edition is for the readers.
I definitely am a special edition person, so I probably would get that.
Here again.
Okay. Oh. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Okay. It's even worse for the authors buying from Barnes and Noble or Walmart, etc. Good exposure slash higher sales, but so little payment. I was making like 40 cents a book on a $15 paperback back when I was selling through those channels. At the big box stores? Really? I had no idea. You have so many. I do have a few. Now, Ziri, there's actually some people that have a lot more than me. Like, I am nowhere near them. Well, I'm now mad on behalf of that. Yeah, so it's a really well known that authors, it could be very hard on them. Like, they don't really make a whole lot, and that's why it's such a big deal when people like steal their books and like post it on like those like black market sites or whatever, because um because they don't make that much to start off with, you know, so it's like a huge thing. Nope, if I didn't sell, they'll send it back to me and charge me for the what? I pay the printer more than I made because of return. Oh my god, I had no idea. So, okay, so that actually answers. I kind of always wondered why your books weren't like in the actual like stores or whatever. So now I know why. Coordinate. Also, aside from, I like to do something. I just don't know what. A link or something? I don't stream much or anything. How can I contribute? I guess, another thing that you could explain, aside from reviews, what are other ways, um, hold on. What is other ways that people can contribute to like help authors, you, whatever, you know?
I think the biggest thing is, you know, if you do a lot on social media, absolutely share your favorite books there. Um, if you know people that like to read the same thing you do, uh, recommendations. Um, it's just getting the word out. Uh, that's really, I think that's the biggest struggle for most authors is, you know, that publicity thing is super hard unless you have a lot of money backing you.
Okay, hold on. Sangi, this might be. I'm not exactly sure what the question is, but Sangi, this might be for you. So in on Arena, somebody said, uh, I think referring to like Barnes and Noble, they're like it's a 70-30 mandatory fee for Barnes and Noble. In the U.S., it's mandatory 70-30 split. So I don't know, you know.
Yeah, it's. I haven't gotten in looked into Barnes and Noble yet, but that doesn't surprise me.
Hold on. Okay, so Sangi is actually hold on. Is actually the publisher. He's the one that said that he put his books in Barnes and Noble and um and the return just wasn't there. So so like this is from the publisher. You have to discount your retail price so that they make money. So our $15 book sells to them for around $6 and the print cost is around $4. Plus you have to pay the printer a fee. Amazon's the same. Uh, so our publisher does sell on Amazon, but he also has an Etsy store that he puts all of our books on. Bags of money mailed to his house, or just envelopes if that's all you can do. If I had bags of money, I'll do it. So okay. Correct. Okay, I have some ideas, but I am glacial at making them happen. Frog, share what your ideas are. We might be able to help. Those were Sangi said those were rounded numbers. It's been a while and it was done through my printer at the time, which was Ingram Books. Amazon isn't as steep since there's fewer middlemen. Sangi Sarah on Arena saying that he did it with a subsidiary of Barnes and Noble. I don't know what that means. Etsy makes the most margin for our authors, and they're signed mostly for the same price. So that's kind of where we sell most of ours, Sarah, is on Etsy. There is a company that says they are affiliated with Barnes and Nobles, but they aren't. What company is that? Okay, so during my streams, I've been doing ChatGPT story time. Mostly because of our partnership through Discord, but I could do little breaks to read books from these guys and have links in my little panel thingy. Explain a little bit more, Frog, what you mean. Like reading these guys' books? Okay, sorry. I had to get caught up. Yeah. There was quite a bit talk about like the whole Barnes and Noble thing.
Yeah.
Reading these books is not a bad idea. Any book that you read though, just make sure you get permission. Uh, Subsidiary means a smaller company under the Barnes and Noble name. I gotcha. They weren't. They were completely independent. The small company is independent? Frog Sangi gives permission for all books. I wish I could call. Oh, okay, okay. Sarah, you're welcome to like reach out to me and we could talk more. Well, Sangi is also the publisher that I was telling you about, he's in the Discord if you wanted to talk to him more too. Okay, any more questions? Or are we good with Jay Spencer? Sarah, do you want me to send you, like, post? Can I post my Discord link? Sangi, you may have somebody coming to talk to you. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. So, thank you for doing this. Sorry for keeping you probably a little bit longer. Well, not too bad. But thank you for letting me read your book too. And I guess welcome to Stepnotype. I don't know if I say it correctly, but but
Close enough.
yeah. It was great talking to you and everything. So, alrighty. Well, you're welcome to go. I'll probably continue streaming. So.
Okay, yep. I'll probably go, but thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate all the questions.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, thanks. All right, bye.
Bye, guys.
Switch screens here. Disconnect here. Okay. Sarah. No, they didn't work for Barnes & Noble. He's a publisher. He's the one that he posted on, or he did have books on Barnes & Noble. Okay, let me send you my link first. I do have a permanent link, but this will work. Okay. And then Sangi, which is the publisher. Sangi, what is your name on? Why can't I see your name? I want to see your full name. I can't see your full name. Sangi, what's your full name on Discord? Okay. If I ever stream more, I might do something like that as well to get more eyes on them. Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Really, anything to bring their books in front of people, so that people are aware, it really helps. Especially because, I don't know, the books, community, I guess, or authors, I've heard that, it's very, kind of saturated or whatever, so. Your questions were great, Frog. What are you talking about? Thanks. Oh, wait. Sangi, this is your name, isn't it? On Discord. Isn't it the same? Okay, I think this is his name. Someone's uncle. He does. He does. Yeah, we've been in contact. Well, I've had his... Thanks, Rusty. I thought it went well, too. Okay, Sangi, I think Sarah might be uncle. Dollar profit, which then Ingram takes a cut. Okay. I didn't do anything direct through Barnes & Noble. But I got... Yeah, thanks, Zeri, for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Have fun with your niece. I gotta get ready. Oh, yeah, it is movie night, isn't it? Alrighty. Yeah, I probably gotta head off too, actually. I didn't even have Twitch pulled up, but I'll touch base. Yeah. Then we can probably figure out what all you want or need. Okay, so who is on? Whoops. I hate this whole hold on. I could probably put this here now. Okay, here we go. Make this bigger. Okay, so who should we raid today? Thanks, Sarah. Okay, hold on. Who should we raid? You know what? I think we should raid Deadeye. That's your Discord? Okay. So Sarah, in my Discord, there is a author chat that Sangi will usually he'll talk to the authors and stuff like that too. Okay, so we're going to raid Deadeye. He popped in here earlier. Where did he go? Deadeye, where are you? There you are. How long have you been on? He's only been on for an hour and a half. I sent him a request. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's see if I could do this correctly, because the past couple times it hasn't worked for me. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening to the author. You can find me on Discord and basically all of the different, sites out there. But also in my Discord, we have book club tomorrow, that's the indie book club. And then I think in a couple weeks is our normal book club for Red Rising, and then For Her Sake, which is tomorrow. What else do I have coming up? Where's my events? I just have book club. Okay. I plan on... Let me make sure that I am not pet sitting. I am pet sitting. Okay, I'll have to try to figure out about stream next week. We'll see what happens. So, alrighty. Thanks everybody. Have a good night, and please show some support if you're on Twitch. So, alright, bye guys. Invalid. What do you mean invalid? Alright, that should have worked. Right? Am I not rating? I haven't fixed that yet. Why is it not letting me raid? Stories! You know, I actually mentioned you several times today. I have a raid art. Oh. Okay, bye guys!